Hello? Are we here? Are we there?
Hello there. Hello there, and
Hi.
here, and there.
Hi, everybody. Let's turn the volume up a little bit.
We must be live now. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice, it means the two tin cans are strung together by the string, and it's just tight enough to go boing, and you can hear our voices traveling through the ether.
That's right.
Don't you love technical jiggery-pokery? You guys are here live, and this is Mr. Justin Sewell.
And that's Cliff Broadway.
Welcome. This is Torn Tuesday, our live weekly webcast, brought to you by TheOneRing.net at the one and only mega Tolkien fan site forged by fans for the fans of J.R.R. Tolkien. And what a great show we have in store for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, and all you international fans joining us in the live built-in chat, thank you for being here. We're going to have a very long discussion, a detailed, fine-tooth comb discussion, a frame-by-frame analysis even, of the newest sneak peek trailer, often dubbed as trailer number 3, the sneak peek bard-centric trailer for the Desolation of Smaug. And it is quite bard-centric. Nothing but Luke Evans dialogue driving the whole thing.
And I really like Luke Evans in Fast and the Furious 6.
I'll say, what a great guy.
He is good. And he plays a good anti-hero, and I think
he even played a very, very good angry Zeus in The Immortals, you know.
Yeah, so
he can do it.
We've got a ton of people in the chat room live with us. We've got B. Dawson, TF Drums, Holy a Hobbit, a ton of people from around the world. Hello, Pedro Fernandez. If you're just joining us, we're live in Ustream, and if you go to TheOneRing.net/live, there's a chat room there. If you want to change your nickname, go /Nick, N-I-C-K, space, whatever you want.
Yes, make yourself a new nickname. Call yourself Grimace.
Hey, Shirsay. Everybody's here. Azog, the Defiler's here. And, of course, you can give us a call on the Torn Hotline. Actually, text us, because we love reading your text.
We do.
530-64-FRODO.
Greetings from Norway. Excellent.
Norway.
I love
aha. You've stayed up.
I love Norway.
You've stayed up. And from the UK.
I love Norwegian bands and Norwegian
Please
music.
greet from the Philippines. Hello, Philippines. And, of course, you can call us on Skype. We'll be opening up the phone lines later at the end of the show. So chat with some of you fans, get some of your reactions on all the latest stuff that we've just been inundated with amazing things.
Quite a lot of news and a lot of coverage. Haven't we had a lot of great coverage?
We've had an amazing time.
We have.
So,
yes. So where do we begin, Mr.
Where do
Justin?
we begin? Well, last week, if you just joined us, we had just come off the fan event. We saw 20 minutes of the latest movie. It was amazing. We saw the new, in theaters, we saw the new Hobbit production diary, and that was amazing. And then what we didn't know, everybody in the theaters, was that while we were getting a 20-minute preview, the folks at home were getting a new trailer. So we thought today we'd go through. Oh, we're getting a text. Hello, Cliff and Jeff. Hello, Hobbit fan.
Hello there.
202 just texted us. So today we're going to go through the entire Hobbit trailer 3, and find out what little secrets lie in between each of the cuts. There were some amazing one-frame visuals that I was like, whoa, they put that in there?
Quick shots that they didn't want to dwell on. And yes, they put that in there just to be like a psychological tease, something that might stick in your brain or might not. But
we have wonderful people in the chat room saying, I love you, Cliff. I love you, Justin. Hi from California. Hello, you're
England. Hello from England and North Carolina. That's my mom's home state. I love that. I love a little town called Apex, North Carolina.
So the big news is we just got confirmation. If you saw our Twitter post, the world premiere of the Hobbit Desolation of Smaug is in Hollywood, Monday, December 2nd.
It is indeed.
At the world famous Chinese theater, TCL Chinese Theater. They're going to roll out the red carpet. They're shutting down Hollywood Boulevard for this. It's going to be fantastic. And we're getting notes and messages from fans saying they just booked their flights. Everybody was waiting for that confirmation to book their flights, book their travel. So that's when it's happening. It's in Hollywood, December 2nd. There's tons of radio stations in many countries that are giving away tickets. and flights. We've got some contests running in Canada right now where you can win a flight. Denny's, of course, famously did a costume contest, ultimate fan contest. So the winner flies to LA for the premiere. So it's gonna be a fun time, and geez, we really hope that maybe Torn Tuesday that week is going to be quite wild.
It's going to be probably one of the very best Torn Tuesdays we'll ever have, I'm sure.
So, Beaufort's wife, hop on a train, hop on a bus, hop on a plane right now. Who else is here? I Stole. You could be coming down. There's going to be cosplayers lined up, fans along the barricades. You know, if you just saw the big news report, Catching Fire. Hunger Games Catching Fire just did their big premiere in London, and the star of that movie, she jumped over the barricades and saw a little girl crying out there in the cold behind the barricade, and the star of the movie just jumped over and went and gave her a big hug, and it was big news. That's the type of stuff that happens at these premieres. Wow. I would not doubt that Evangeline Lilly does a little elf move over the barricades.
Now the stakes are higher. Now there's a new precedent for fan interactions. Jumping over barricades to hug them? Wow, okay, that's funny. But what was that? It's Jennifer Lawrence, am I not mistaken?
Yes.
Our lead actress from The Hunger Games?
J-Law.
Miss Jennifer Lawrence, who's looking all in this interesting blonde 70s redo for the Hustle movie.
The American Hustle.
Yeah, the American Hustle.
I'm curious about that.
Very different style of out character for her. But I love Tauriel. Just from the aspect that Evangeline Lilly is bringing a certain joie de vivre to the whole affair. You see her at the press events, you see her at Comic-Con, and certainly my experiences with her while we were on set during the filming. I tell you what, she has the spark of life, as the French call it, joie de vivre, and I cannot wait to see Evangeline Lilly do what she's going to do at the premiere. It's going to be really fantastic.
You know, we got questions coming in. Any news on what the trailer is going to be attached to? At this point, we're a month away from the premiere of the movie. We're 30 days away officially today. We're 30 days away, 1 month away. So the trailer 1, 2, or 3 could pop up in front of any movie. There's tons of TV commercials being played right now.
Yes.
And of course, The Hobbit is on Blu-ray and DVD in the US and UK and Canada right now. If you go to TheOneRing.net, you can see we've put together a convenient little chart that shows you which version you should get. If you want a version that most closely resembles the DVDs that you've already bought, the extended edition Lord of the Rings trilogy, you know, with the green, the blue, and the brown, you want the DVD 5-disc version. The DVD 5-disc.
Not Blu-ray.
Not Blu-ray.
We're talking regular DVD.
Regular DVD is the closest thing that resembles the original trilogy, because the original trilogy, again, that was on DVD. It wasn't in high def yet.
That's right.
So the high def Lord of the Rings trilogy looks a little different, and so there's 7 different versions that you can get. You can only get the statue at Amazon. You can only get the Steelbook at Best Buy.
The Steelbook is a different, compromised version of the Blu-ray 3D. It does not have regular Blu-ray.
It doesn't have 2D. You cannot watch 3D
correct.
in 2D.
That is correct.
You need 3D. Don't buy it if you don't have a 3D TV.
There's no extra Hello Dolly extra copy of a 2D Blu-ray in there. It's a compromised metal box set, but Best Buy has that. I had the rather pleasant experience in a difficult snafu for a lot of fans last week. I had a very good experience.
Okay.
I went down to Walmart and they had copies in, $19.67, I think, just for the Blu-ray. It was a regular Blu-ray extended edition, and it had all 9 hours of appendices on 2 bonus discs. The entire extended version of the film was on 1 single disc, and I got myself into a bit of confusion until a gentleman came up standing by my side. He was also picking through the racks. He was an animator at DreamWorks Animation. He said, "We've been talking about this at the studio. I came here just to make sure I could get this copy because they had so many problems with Barnes & Noble and Target not having anything at all available across all of Canada and the US. And we featured quite a good story written by our Demosthenes, taking a look at why there were difficulties for some fans getting a hard copy of the extended edition last Tuesday, and I went to Walmart and I got mine instantly at the Walmart, and I don't usually go to that retailer. I'd rather support local mom and pop shops.
And Walmart's usually far away from anything in mainstream LA. Bofer's wife just texted the Torn hotline, are you guys going to feed James Nesbitt ham at the premiere? It's mandatory. Don't you mean hamdatory? I don't know. Our red carpet coverage is going to be covered by the Happy Hobbits, and we don't know if James Nesbitt's fully aware of the Happy Hobbits, but we do know that Orlando, Lee Pace, and Evangeline Lilly
certainly are
on first name basis with the Happy Hobbits, Kelly and Alex. So it's going to be a super fun weekend. We're still trying to figure out if we can live stream from the red carpet. You know us, we're going to try. And maybe we have to just do it on the slide, but we want to bring the premiere to you live. As far as we heard right now, there will be live streaming from the Hollywood premiere from the Warner Brothers official Hobbit movie website. So no matter where you are in the world, you should be able to watch the premiere live, whether it's from us or from Warner Brothers. But, enough talk. We've got a lot of trailer with a lot of quick edits into it. So let's watch the trailer, and then we'll dive right in.
Right in.
The Lord of Silver Fountains. The King of Carven Stone. The King beneath the mountain shall come into his own. And the bells shall ring in gladness at the Mountain King's return. But all shall fail in sadness, and the lake will shine and burn. You have no right. No right to enter that mountain. I have the only right. What is this place?
The Desolation of Smaug.
Destroy the dragon. Take back your homeland.
The dwarf will never be king. Our time has come again.
It is not our fight.
Are we not part of this world?
You seek that which would bestow upon you the right to rule. The Arkenstone.
What's that?
That, Master Burglar, is why you are here. We are in grave danger.
The world is in grave danger. I fear for you.
If this is to end in fire, then we will all burn together.
You can't give up now!
It never ceases to amaze me. The courage of hobbits.
I am king under the mountain.
is not just any old dialogue. It is one of the missing songs or poems, one of the actual songs from The Hobbit. And I remember many Tolkien fans complaining that the Lord of the Rings trilogy suffered from a whole bunch of great songs and original Tolkien poems being cut, and they weren't even in the Lord of the Rings film. Now we realize the Hobbit films are...
He's putting a lot of that poetry back in.
Stuffed with poetry, stuffed with the original stuff, back in.
Fans were in the chat room, we were screaming that the sound was off. We were just saying that there's 3 trailers, and now there's 3 different perspectives. The first trailer was from the dwarves' perspective.
Yes.
All the dialogue was dwarven. The second trailer, you start off with Thranduil. You had the perspective of the elves and where the elves are coming from. And then this third trailer starts off with the men of Lake Town and Bard the Bowman.
Yes.
So there's 3 trailers, 3 different perspectives of the same story. And we think, just as Lord of the Rings was kind of start off as one fellowship that splintered into 3 different storylines. You had Merry and Pippin, you had Aragorn and Gimli and Orlando, and then you had Frodo and Sam. So this is kind of 3 different perspectives of the same battle going on, all leading up into the third movie. That trailer just makes me more pumped to see the movie. Hobbit fan, we agree.
Yes, indeed.
We agree.
I agree.
So because we've seen 20 minutes of the movie from the fan event, we can fill in a lot of gaps here. So let's dive into the frame by frame.
Let us begin at the beginning.
Right now, this is right when the dwarves are first going into Lake Town, Bard the Bowman.
Well, they're on the outskirts of Lake Town in what is the previous ruins of the town that was first destroyed by Smaug's attack 60 years prior.
It's buried in water.
Yes.
Ice cold water, it looks like.
Professor Tolkien describes in the book that, up the side of the lakeshore, there was a newer lake town. And very icy water.
Someone in the chat room says necromancer is Sauron. Did they use the term necromancer in the first movie?
Yes, quite a lot.
Did they use an actual term, necromancer?
Yes, quite a bit. In fact, there's great moments of dialogue between Radagast and Gandalf when he shows up right after the troll sequence. And Radagast says all this stuff about the necromancer, and Gandalf gives him a little pipe and it'll calm your nerves, and the smoke comes out of his ears.
He says necromancer.
Oh, very specifically.
Not just a great evil.
And Gandalf repeats himself and says, "A necromancer, are you sure?"
Okay.
Absolutely, that is the term that is used in the first film.
Bard.
Sauron is mentioned only briefly in the White Council scene by Christopher Lee as Saruman. Yes.
All right, so Bard, obviously, he's towering. You start to hear the voiceover. Now, here's the thing that we learned at the fan event. Luke Evans said that the bow that he carries when he's being chased by the dragon is larger than him. So this is not that bow. This is not the great bow that slays that Bard carries, right? Because this is nowhere near.
Maybe this is a regular huntsman's bow he's using in the meantime.
This is a regular huntsman's bow.
Maybe we'll see him go to a store of armaments and get his great big bow when the dragon attacks.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Or it's gifted to him by another character.
Well, before the attack at Helm's Deep, we see quite a bit of people getting into the armory and getting into their battle gear. So maybe we'll see that.
Idril, what have I missed? We're just getting started on the frame by frame. Now here we go. This is a scene where Bilbo has just come down. He's cut himself out. He hasn't cut himself out because he hasn't been captured yet. He's just fallen down the tree. He steadies his landing in the middle of the tree, and he looks around, and he notices all these cobwebs, and then he looks, and he notices that the dwarves that he's with have all been captured. And, of course, you can see that this is Beaufort right here.
Yes, you can tell.
And this is as he's distracted, looking that, oh my gosh, my friends have been captured, then Bilbo gets captured himself. So this is
Bilbo's reaction to the ring, and it's a really, really excellent Martin Freeman moment where we see yet again why Martin Freeman was such an excellent choice in casting for this role.
Look at his reaction.
There's something about the temptation, the power, the strangeness of the fact that he realizes now that he puts on this ring and something changes in his interaction with the spiders.
He can hear them talk.
He can actually here are them. We posted about this.
And
big spoiler, guys. If you're watching this show, don't complain to us later about being spoiled. This is a spoiler-filled show, and we're going to go into ripe details and book specifics about what we're seeing in these images. This must be something where Bilbo's freaking out, realizing what the ring is doing to him. Maybe this is his first realization that this little ring is something more dangerous than he thought.
There's more to this ring than he thought.
Indeed.
I am so happy the spiders are going to talk. Again, the spiders only talk when he's got the ring on. They only talk in the shadow world.
Yes.
And that's why we think you only hear Smaug talk when he's invisible.
There's been so much contention, so much fan debate, whether the spiders would talk, because none of the eagles do. And we're really grateful to
What happened there?
I don't know. You tell me.
There we go.
Are we still live, everyone? Can you see us?
This is the first glimpse at the big thing. Here, where are we at? All right, right here is where the dungeons are. You can see that the cave system starts to build here. And this is where the dwarves are captured and then taken down. So we're still in the trees here, and then this leads to the underground, and where there's drunken elves and things like that.
Or from the slanting of the light, you can see by the way the slats of light are coming in one direction.
You can see the light is coming in
this way.
This way.
There must be a point where there's no more light, and that must be the interior under the mountains.
And I love that there's little hints of classic elven architecture, like up here. Mm-hmm. There's just little hints that okay, these are high elf. These are a different set of high elves, but they've got this similar.
That we're now seeing. Brought to life by these talented folks at Weta. Moving on, in our frame-by-frame analysis, we see... do you see the War Moose throne? Is that really the location of Thranduil's throne?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of antlers, you know. Instead of a throne of swords, this particular throne is surrounded by antlers.
All right, heroic shot of Thorin. Is there anything special about the...
That is a superhero shot.
But is there anything special about the blades on his shoulder right there? Is there
he seems to be dressed very differently than his original Thorin armor. This must be a new outfit.
Because he's got a shield on here.
Well, his original suit of armor and original clothing were taken off of him when he was captured by the elves. So he arrives in Lake Town and they give him new garb.
Okay.
This must be Lake Town stuff.
Okay.
Now, the colors are really not dwarven, nor are the designs.
All right, what's going on here?
This is a family tree.
A family tree?
Oh, yes. This is a remarkable visual family tree.
There's a line there. There's a line there. There's a broken line right here.
That's right. That says, if I'm not mistaken...
Thror.
That says Thror.
This is Thror right here. And there's a broken line. You can see that there's a broken line.
Right there. Now, maybe that is not on the name on the furthest left.
It totally is Thror.
Well, it might be. Maybe if this is supposed to be Thorin's finding his place right here in the very center, then the names above him must directly be his father, Thrain. And right above that must be Thror.
Huh.
There must still be a direct connection from...
Where does he get this?
Thorin's dad to his granddad.
Where does Thorin find this?
I don't know. But...
Is there any mention of a family tree in the books?
I'm suspicious that the pair of hands we are looking at are not Thorin's hands. I think those are Luke Evans' hands. And I really suspect with the Fagans... I think those are Bard's hands, and Bard may be in a scene where he's explaining or extrapolating to his family, to his daughters, or maybe to his son, something about his relationship with the past.
Or the Dwarven kings, because Bard does say he will never be king. Or no, the thing. The orc says
he'll never be king. He says that to Thranduil. But this is definitely a family tree in a tapestry, a beautiful piece of artwork, and there are facial representations of the individuals in this family tree.
So we think that these hands are not dwarven hands.
The dates are correct. The dates actually, if anybody takes a look
2644.
Yeah, these are dates from the appendix A in the back of the Lord of the Rings.
This one says 2746.
Yes.
Right there.
And that would be the year when Thorin was born.
That definitely Bard. So maybe this is Bard. Let's keep going. So maybe this
Bard is checking on Thorin. Definitely Bard. Okay.
All right. So
you guys, if you guys are at home right now, break open your books of Lord of the Rings. Look in Return of the King in the back pages, and look at the appendices, and double check that date for Thorin's birth.
I can watch this all day long.
Oh, the dragon's eye opening.
We've seen that shot in every trailer now.
But that's a different shot.
No, we've seen this shot in every trailer.
Oh, yes, we have. Now, this looks suspiciously like Paramount's logo, doesn't it?
You know, I miss kind of the actual non-CG'd flyovers that the Lord of the Rings. Remember the opening of Two Towers where they fly over all these mountainscapes? And
yes.
A lot of helicopter shots in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. None of them CGI'd.
Yes.
I'm kind of... that's what I'm missing. A lot of the big perspectives and the helicopter shots, you can tell, are totally CG, especially when Bilbo comes up over the trees and stuff like that. So this is one of the few shots where it feels like, okay, that's not CG.
True, but that helicopter shot over the Shire, it was not CG at all. And you
that's
see
the problem.
Bilbo running across the patchwork farmland.
And it looked great.
It looked wonderful.
All right.
So there's half of this, half of that.
So
now here's Bard, surrounded by skins, leather skins, dried meats, and
so he's at home here,
and there's a whole bunch of stuff. They might be inside.
Yeah,
his home.
Cumber Smaug. That's right. You know, this trailer was all about the human perspective. Now,
this is where we get this remarkable parallel to Venice and the canals of Venice, and that's what they said. The actors have said, and other behind-the-scenes people have told us that Lake Town, gorgeous view. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the opening of a Walt Disney version of a Charles Dickens adaptation. And you're looking at London with smog and powdered snow and little chimneys all over the place.
It does have some Asian influence. I mean, these hooks
there is
are
some.
very Asian influence. This is why a lot of people that aren't fully aware of Lake Town said, oh, wow, they're just copying the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Pirates of the Caribbean 3 opens when they go into the Orient and try to make a deal with the Asian pirates,
and they're in canals as well.
And they're in canals as well. So there was a lot of discussion about
Really?
I've seen this before. In Pirates of the Caribbean. So this these little flares. If this is supposed to be Venice, it couldn't be. Why would there be Asian influences in Lake Town?
Actually, those look a little bit more Eskimo to me. They look like Inuit, salmon or
Scandinavian.
They look spirit designs, and they might be even more closely related to Scandinavian fish designs.
Yeah, people in the chat room are saying the same thing.
Yeah, quite a few Scandinavian.
We've got an angry crowd with what looks like the master of Lake Town here on the side. He's got the master of Lake Town,
and he's joined by his
Igor,
his lackey, whose name is Alfred.
Alfred
is his name.
I thought I'm gonna call him Smee.
He's a Smee. He's a Smee character.
Smee, get over here.
He is spelled Alfred with an I. And you know what? Maybe we're getting some of these Norwegian and Scandinavian spellings in the names that they have.
So the
Alfred with an I.
The master of Lake Town is a horrid-looking person, and the little that we've seen of him is very caricaturish. I mean,
friend or a pirate himself. He looks like greasy, unkempt, and slovenly.
And we've got some crazy hats over here. We've got like some metal dome-shaped helmets and things like that. You know, you can see this here. Kind of Eastern European.
I remember reading Stephen Fry's Twitter feed saying that his character was a very despicable character. And
despicable looking.
And I like these slightly Mongoloid, Mongolia-type helmets that they have.
Mongoloid, I like that.
They are slightly. Yeah. There's this little bit of...
So, obviously,
here we are,
the master of Lake Town is leading the people to... Is that a dwarf in the middle? They've got bombard. These are dwarves.
Yeah, look, the dwarves are being led by the soldiers.
Look,
there they are.
Bomber right there.
Yes.
And we've got Ori right here. And...
That is Adam Brown, and this must be glowing on the left.
And this is glowing.
Might be him, yeah.
Yeah, that's glowing. So, if you watch the playback, they're taking the dwarves.
No, it's Nori. It's actually Jed Brophy.
Yeah, that is Nori.
That's Nori. Okay.
So they've captured the dwarves. You can start to see the tops of the head right here, the silver hair.
Balin, yeah. There's Balin.
So they've captured the dwarves. We don't know how. We haven't seen any footage of how they capture the dwarves. But they capture the dwarves. Let's clear that. All right. Here is some of the most controversial stuff going on. Bard and his family.
The extension of his family, including his daughters and his son.
All right. So everybody knows the purpose of Bard's son. But why does he have daughters? He's got 1 and 2 daughters. Obviously, this is his house. His house looks like a fisherman. He's got, a lantern over here, and
rolled up nets and equipment over there, ready to go.
Yeah, nets and stuff like that. He wears fur coats all the time. So
trust the Gordon's fisherman.
What do you think?
I think about fish sticks and Gordon of Gloucester.
Kanye likes fish sticks. What do you think of their outfits here? I mean, they're very kind of. It's not like any human.
I'm suddenly reminded of Little House on the Prairie. Right. I'm having a very strong whiff of Little House on the Prairie from, or maybe Dorothy of Oz. Dorothy before she leaves Kansas.
Dorothy, but nothing that reminds us of Rohan or any of the humans that we've met previously.
No, this looks a little bit more Eurocentric, specifically more English.
In the chat room,
it's very Anglo-centric.
What does this remind you of? What does their clothing remind you of? Because it's very unfamiliar, and this is one of the things that I think there was an opportunity that maybe the filmmakers have missed. Is that one of the things that fans especially love about Lord of the Rings, especially the Two Towers, which had some of the best costumes of the whole trilogy. The Two Towers, was there so much opportunity for long flowing dresses and tunics and all of just you saw when they marched to Helm's Deep. You saw a lot of people, even though they were destitute. But there was a lot of great costume design.
Neither one of us are making the argument that Bard should not have his full family represented. It's only worth noting that when you read the book The Hobbit, you don't see any of these details, and Tolkien never mentions them in the original book, The Hobbit. So it is just fair to be, very clear that we're examining all the new material that is in this film adaptation, and just reminding everyone of, the different directions that Peter Jackson and his team are willing to go in order to make this adaptation a bigger, bolder, richer, and more complex adaptation of The Hobbit. And that's why I've been calling it for all this time Hobbit 2.0. It's not the same story you'll see in between the pages of the book. And names that Tolkien had listed in the back of the appendices are now no longer just a name on a list. They're actually embodied full on in the narrative here.
All right, this is important. This is important right here.
This is Dol Guldur all over the place.
He has been wounded in a key part of his head.
Yes, Gandalf is very wounded.
He's been wounded in the temple. That is not insignificant. And there are 2 bites. There are 2 holes right there. There's 1 hole and there's 2 holes right there. So he has been clubbed. There might be even 3 holes. So he has definitely been clubbed.
We're just crossfading out of a last shot of Lake Town, aren't we?
So that Gandalf is he imprisoned, or is he just looking through a gate?
He seems to be peering through prison bars. Whether he's looking in or out, I don't know. But I assume he might be looking to see...
he's not imprisoned. We don't think he's imprisoned anyway.
These are the scenes that must cover Gandalf's original encounter. That's the end of Lake Town, right?
I mean, it just feels like the third Pirates of the Caribbean, and most of this stuff was shot on a set.
This doesn't even feel like that Pirates of the Caribbean segment at all.
Well, it's got daylight in it.
It has full daylight.
But this whole scene, if you watch the production diaries, this is the scene where they show a lot of from the production diaries. There's the bridge over the water.
That must be Sauron's evil eye of fire.
That is as explicit as we can get. That Peter's going someplace with this movie that the book never went.
Absolutely. He's drawing very specific connections to the necromancer being identified to the audience, at least, that this is the beginnings of Sauron. Now, that means it's not going to be hidden only for the geek audience who really knows the books. This is going to be exemplified throughout the story as explicitly as that. So people in the audience, even in layman's terms, they will start connecting it to the Lord of the Rings.
I can't wait to see this in HFR 3D.
Now, I wonder if the first iteration of Sauron's Eye and Fellowship of the Ring might seem a little bit different for the audience who sees all the Hobbit films first, without seeing Lord of the Rings first. Do you know, many people are going to be watching the 6 films in that order.
Yeah.
So they'll be introduced to Sauron this way, with this imagery.
See, a lot of people in the chat room are agreeing with me that it does feel like Pirates of the Caribbean, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, those movies were fun. So this is where we have a lot of black screen dialogue. I thought this was played over dramatically. We don't.
I thought it was great. I thought the use of the.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't deserve to. No, you don't.
No, you don't. You don't deserve
He says it like 3 times. No, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. This is the famous scene that we've seen in all the trailers where he looks just like Orlando Bloom from Pirates of the Caribbean. Coincidentally, that Bard is in a location that reminds you of Pirates 3. He happens to look like Orlando's character from Pirates of the Caribbean. There's just a lot of coincidence there.
That's not quite exactly true.
I love this play with the camera angles. You really do get to feel like, for the first movie, you were definitely seeing the world from a Hobbit's perspective and from a dwarf's perspective. They were all kind of large in frame and stuff like that. But now that we're dealing with bears and humans and regular-sized people and elves, you finally get the feeling that, oh my gosh, as heroic as he is, as heroic as Thorin was in the first movie, he is
only that tall.
He is only that tall.
It's true.
He has the only right. All right, here we go. What town is that?
That's Dale. The ruins of Dale.
You just told me Dale was underwater.
No, that was a previous lake town. I told you that the first thing we saw were the boat going through the ruins of a previous lake town.
You said it was the previous Dale, didn't you say at the top of this?
We'll rewind the tape and we'll watch later. I said that was a previous lake town that was built further down the shores of the lake.
Okay, so
this is definitely the ruins of Dale.
Dale is in the mountain.
And we have seen Dale very clearly and specifically in the opening prologue of An Unexpected Journey. Yeah. And there are even more scenes in the extended edition of An Unexpected Journey where you see one of the early black arrows, the real black arrows that is going to be so important to Bard in the second film.
What sword is this?
And there's a black arrow, and we see an added shot of a 4-pointed, 4-sided crossbow mechanism shooting a black arrow at the dragon. That extended edition stuff is really good. I wish there was more than 15 minutes of it, but it's really good.
Do you recognize this sword that Thorin has?
It must be Orcrist. It might be in a scabbard.
That's big. It doesn't have the curve of Orcrist. Look, you can see that it's.
Well, if Orcrist is taken from Thorin,
do you think this is before or after they get to Lake Town?
This is after they leave Lake Town and go up the running river up towards Dale.
I love this mallet.
It might be possible that the dwarves don't have that Thorin himself doesn't have Orcrist right now. Maybe Thranduil will bring it and appear with it in another point.
I love
in the third film.
I love this mallet that they have.
Yeah. All the designs of the dwarf weapons are amazing.
So this is after Lake Town.
I can see Ori and Dory and Nori in the corner. And now we see him there's William Kircher in the furthest distance as Biffer. Then Thorin, Bilbo, and coming closer, the brothers Balin and Dwalin.
Graham McTavish himself, who we just got word that he will not be at the premiere in Hollywood.
Drat.
All right, so there's not much to say except, all right,
they're all in the clothing of Lake Town.
This is a clothing Lake Town. Now look at this. This is the second time you've seen Bilbo wear this blue tunic. A lot of people were complaining about the American Desolation of Smaug character posters that Bilbo had seemed photoshopped. His skin was glowing clean,
like a little waxy, maybe.
A little waxy. He had this blue tunic on, which was not like the red smoking jacket that he left the house with. It was like the character poster of Bilbo was just like, wow, these all look great. And Gandalf's all rough and like he's holding a sword, and then you get to Bilbo and he's just kind of like, glowing like an angel. Well, that is not Photoshop. Look at his face here. It is fresh and clean, like he just got a face massage.
That must be part of the point, that he got some good treatment and got better care of himself at Lake Town, and he's feeling tons better. Maybe he's not looking so waxy. Maybe he just got a wax.
That poster.
Maybe he got his back waxed while he was in the spa.
But his hair is combed different. We're used to seeing the Bilbo fro,
yes,
the Hobbit fro. But his hair is styled different. He looks rested and relaxed in brand new clothing, rich, expensive clothing. Everybody else seems to be in furs and stuff like that. Look, Dwalin's in new furs, and he's got the blue thing going on. So that poster might be accurate to the movie, but I tell you, it doesn't sell the film. And if you're going to put out a poster, it needs to do its job in marketing, and they didn't do a good job releasing that poster.
It is worth mentioning at this point that you cannot drive anywhere around metropolitan Los Angeles, a city of 12.5 million people, without seeing Hobbit posters everywhere. At every bus stop, on the side of every bus. And what are they? They're the teaser poster with Bilbo in this blue jacket, and he's standing up against the great gates of Erebor with the two Argonath-looking statues, right? That suggestion of the Argonath on those two dwarf statues on each side of the great gate of Erebor.
There's a jail
I love these little nuances that are in the artwork that are
We'll get pictures of that later.
Yeah, they're echoing back to the trilogy.
Where is this jail?
This is not any jail at all. This is one of the corridors leading down into the Lonely Mountain.
Okay, so this is just a Lonely Mountain.
Yeah, I don't believe he's in Thranduil's halls because he couldn't be. He's in Lake Town attire. So he's already left the Elven King's
He's on
prisons,
his own
and
right now.
They've been to Lake Town, and now they're inside the Lonely Mountain. And this
is his first glimpse at the miles and miles ago. This is all part of the scene that we saw in the fan event.
Yeah, you think the room of requirement at Hogwarts goes on and on and on forever?
Look at that.
Look at this.
You basically, that as what was in that whole special. So that's a quick cut. All right, look, we've got a line of dwarves, and look, Richard Armitage does a little smirk.
That's where he realizes this is where he realizes the key must go into that tiny beam of light which is shining on the stone on the surface of the outside of the mountain. So from a chronology perspective, the trailer is certainly jumping forward, backward. We see shots of Bilbo inside the mountain. Now we're looking at a point where they haven't even unlocked the door yet, outside the secret door.
I gotta say, if Peter Jackson's gonna set up more stuff, I'd expect Ori to be closer to Balin. Like, I want to see more shots of these two guys kind of connecting.
That remains to be seen. At present,
because they both go to Moria together.
Yes, they do.
So
yes,
I want to see Ori standing.
Adam Brown playing Ori. Yes. Next to Balin.
Next to Balin. Like, it's just little stuff like that. That is, like, I know Peter Jackson's got a master plan, but I personally kind of want to see that.
Well, how about Bifur as well? Which one of the dwarves was eaten by the Watcher in the Water outside the gate? I want one of you guys, if you can. This is one of you guys in the chat room, do me a quick favor and look that up for me.
We've seen this shot before.
And let report back to me. I'll find you in the chat.
I think this was the first trailer. We've seen this shot before.
Yes, this is the successful opening of the secret door.
Okay, this is the start of the scene that was shown during the MTV European Music Awards this weekend. That we also got to see at the fan event. It's Tauriel, Thranduil.
It was Owen.
Legolas.
Owen was killed, played by the great John Callan. It was Owen who was killed by the Watcher in the Water.
Tauriel. And then here's Thranduil. Thrandy. And then here's Legolas. And here's an orc. An orc right there. I think the Smaug's Cave of Gold, Cave of Pirates of the Caribbean Gold Cave. Yeah, definitely. Smaug's Gold gives the Pirates Gold Cave a run for its money for sure. Thanks for that text. So this is the end of that scene. You can see Tauriel has been asked to leave. They're trying to extract information. They've captured an orc. These orcs are chasing. I think this is after the barrels. I think
it makes me wonder why they didn't capture any of the other orcs and to get information from them in the Two Towers. You know, if elves were in any way accustomed to keeping orcs prisoner to interrogate them for information, Tolkien doesn't say too much about it. So this is a pretty interesting scene.
And this is practical makeup. I don't think this is digital. This is makeup.
Yeah,
this is old school, classic Lord of the Rings, not digital faces, not digital heads like they had in Goblin Town, where there was every head was digital. This is
real.
This is real.
And it looks really good.
And
gruesome. It looks really gruesome.
Like I said, this second movie is the Lord of the Return to Middle Earth that we've been waiting for. This is practical makeup and effects on all parts. All right. This shot reminds me of Aragorn in Bree looking out the window, doesn't it? I mean, it just
there. Oh, that does look like Vigo looking outside the window where the ring wraiths we knew were across the street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of that. That's cool.
A comparison of that.
Yeah, side by side.
Side by side. All right.
And now, this is a panoramic shot, which reminds me of our arrival in Lothlorien in the Fellowship of the Ring, where the dwarves, now held captive by Thranduil's forces, are being led inside the elven caverns under the mountains of Mirkwood.
6, 7, 8.
Are you counting
9,
dwarves?
10, 11. So, there's probably a couple that we can't see just because of the shot.
And then there are additional elf guards as well.
The important thing to note here is that every dwarf has an elf guard assigned to him. It's not like, hey, let's rally up the thing. Like, there are enough elves to say, all right, everybody grab a dwarf.
Yes.
This isn't there's no chance of escape.
But, I mean, also, take a close look before we move further on. Look at the beautiful physical environment that they have designed. It's a combination of mountain cavern and great roots of a massive ancient tree. And also the waterfall.
Please.
You have the river, the actual river of Mirkwood Forest running through in the caverns that go famously underground. Under Thranduil's caves. And
so this is not underground. This is just at the feet of the forest.
And it is really, really well done because it combines the organic twisting, turning of roots and twigs and the organic touch of the tree with the straight, arched, beautiful, delicate designs of the stonework. of the elves. And it's just so fabulous.
So
it's
and
really,
it's
really
just
fabulous.
all built into the tree. This is a shot that you can that would make a great background, computer background.
It's awfully gorgeous, this one in particular. It's really nice. And now the arrival of...
We've seen this shot multiple times.
The bad boy, the invented villain, who should have been dead by rights. He should have been dead in the book.
He should have been practical. He shouldn't have been digital.
Now
There's a lot of
pale orc. Azog the Pale Orc reappears as the villain. In the 20-minute bit that we saw.
Okay.
It was not in the trailer.
And what they showed at the EMAs.
Yes. Just to make that clear.
Is he talking about his master here?
Yes. He's referring to Azog. Yes.
Bolg.
No, he's referring to Azog.
Because Bolg has a different agenda going on.
And I think Bolg will not be introduced until the third film.
And I think Bolg is in this one based on the toys and stuff. But I think Bolg is Thror's keeper.
Oh, maybe Bolg might be housing Thorin's dad, Thrain. Keep in mind that Thror is the grandfather.
Okay.
Thrain. Yeah, right. I think Thrain. Right. Maybe Thrain has a special prison guard, and it might be Bolg. Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? We'll see. We have yet to see,
because there's a huge battle. That scar on.
Hello, Teteras. Welcome to the show.
We know that Bolg has a big club with a lot of spikes. We know he has a club.
Indeed.
All right. If you looked at that scar,
maybe that explains the wounds on Gandalf's face.
So I'll bet you by golly that Gandalf fights Bolg.
That might be one of our best speculations yet. Did you hear a rumor anywhere that this might be true?
No, I'm just extrapolating.
You're throwing it out there. Okay, I like this. Where you're going with this?
We know that Bolg has a multi-headed or multi-spiked thing, and we saw Gandalf earlier in this trailer with
those wounds on his temple.
Yeah.
Let's begin the speculation. We will officially put the rumor out that we suspect that Thorin's dad, who is still in Dol Guldur, might be still kept there by an active guard, and it might even be Azog's son, Bolg.
All right, what's this thing, Cliff?
That might be interesting.
What's this thing, Cliff?
Wow. That's just a belt buckle.
On his chest.
Yeah, that's a belt buckle.
Oh, yeah,
to keep his quiver strapped around.
Yeah, that's his quiver.
Goes right behind and it continues strapped down that way. Yes.
And the knives, classic.
Classic, the long knives of Legolas. Still a favorite weapon.
Knives of Legolas.
Wow, you've really got me thinking about Thrain being held in Dol Guldur by Bolg. You can see
they're just doing fan service here. I mean, Orlando.
I think that's a pretty interesting concept.
It's all about.
Hey, you. How you doing?
We keep seeing Orlando. There's his knives and his quiver.
Orlando doing a lot of his own stunts, as Evangeline Lilly attested to that fact during the live fan event last Monday.
And then we come back into this is right before they meet the spiders, I think. Or no,
this might be post spiders.
No, they've been captured. Look how they are.
They've been captured, and the elves are now away from the spider centric zone. And we're leaving the spider-centric area, going to an elf zone, okay?
Yeah.
Spider zone, elf zone. Here we go. Yeah, you can see they still got webbing on them, don't they?
Is that Orcrist?
Yeah, that's Orcrist being pointed back in Thorin's face. Okay, not cool.
I love the detail of the armor.
Oh, and Legolas is wondering, why do you, Thorin, have this impressive elf blade? Unanswered questions. Wow, that's a great shot.
So Legolas, I think Tauriel has a role to play in this, just like Merry and Pippin did. Like we are part of this world. Like it's almost like they just took what Merry and Pippin existed in Two Towers for, which was to inspire a hands-off, laissez-faire thing into action. And Tauriel's definitely, we are part of this world. We are part of this world. And I think that's
that in fact it's the exact dialogue. It echoes the same sentiment.
Yeah.
As well.
So this is again they're climbing up the big statues of dwarves.
Yeah.
We've seen other shots of
this. Really cool.
But this is classic. How do they? Dwarves are stupid when it comes to building stairs. Like
No, this isn't supposed to be accessible as stairs. This is supposed to be a secret access point, and it's not going to be immediately visible or usable by anybody. They know that the magic and beautiful designs, the symmetrical designs they're most famous for, have hidden utility. That is an earmark of dwarven craftsmanship.
It's
hidden, secret utility inside something that just looks like an ornament of design.
So, this is like a huge stone dwarf, just like the Argonath.
Just like the Argonath, yes.
Yeah.
And they're evidently climbing and getting their way up.
Yeah, here's the hand.
Yeah, trying to get up inside the statue.
You can see the Bilbo at the top of the frame.
Wow.
Right
no,
here.
he would be in a blue coat, not in that color. That can't be Bilbo.
In a blue coat?
When Bilbo leaves Lake Town, he's not in a burgundy or a wine-colored coat.
I'm pretty sure that was Bilbo, but this looks amazing. I love this.
It's really impressive.
So you can see right here, like, this is where they started. This is the second shot.
There's a secret little path from inside the dwarven glove, and they go up the weapon, up the axe, and continuing up the side of the mountain.
There's an axe here, right here.
Oh yeah, it's massive. Yeah, look at that axe.
Yeah. So.
That's so cool.
I love this. I wish the detail of the stone giants. I feel like the stone giants were too digital. This feels real right here. This feels like a bigature. Doesn't this finally feel like a bigature? It might be all digital, but they got better at it.
It does feel like and it looks fantastic.
All right, whoa! What are we looking at? This is such a quick shot.
I know. This is obviously from the starfish hair on the far left. That's Jed Brophy. Okay?
All right.
And that is the profile of the dwarven statue that they just climbed up.
So, is this Lake Town?
I don't know if they're looking directly south, but I have a suspicion they're looking to the west.
They're looking to the west?
Yeah,
that's Dale.
They might be looking to the west.
That's Dale. They're looking at Dale.
They're looking at Dale. But according to the geography that I know in Tolkien's maps, Dale is not really to the east or the west of the south-facing Great Gate. The Gate of Erebor was on the south face of the mountain and faced south, with the running river coming out of the bottom of the gate. So if they were looking, I don't know why the sun is in that exact position, because the sun can't be due south.
Ooh, okay.
The sun cannot be due south, and it looks like they're looking southward at Dale.
The thing that gets me excited about this scene right here, this shot right here, is that look at the cape of Thranduil. It looks like he just got back from doing some errand, and he threw his jacket on his chair, right?
Yes, it does look like that.
Cape is it best Superman's cape, at best Thor's cape. I would even.
Oh my God!
I'd almost put
fantastic.
it at the level of Spawn's cape.
Yeah, it's that kind of an awesome cape.
I almost said Spawn because you've taught me to say Smaug, so I'm saying
you're going.
Todd McFarlane's Spawn
Going back to Todd
has
McFarlane,
an amazing red cape, and this is it, and it's so magnificent. I want to find out where they source the material, because and just everything about this outfit.
I've seen some really great images of Thranduil with that cape flowing around him.
Look at this. It's just
his costuming is gorgeous.
And he's got like these perfect shoulders and his
crown. It's so cool. It's such a cool design.
And he just speaks so monotone and
elf-like.
Yeah. That was a phase. You can just tell what words he's going to emphasize.
Thank you, Eravandi. Yeah, Edna Mode would disagree on the cape.
All right, so
I love that. An Incredibles reference. Thank you for that. Very good. I love Brad Bird movies.
So
love him.
They're just starting to have this conversation after they've got the dwarves, after Legolas.
You know what? If Guillermo del Toro really left the project and Peter Jackson would not have been able to direct, Brad Bird would have been my second choice after Guillermo del Toro. If Peter Jackson could not have directed it. But
so you can
I just love Brad Bird.
You can see Thorin has a bunch of spider webs. Legolas has just brought these guys back.
His prize captives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to Daddy.
And
Look what I did, Daddy.
Thorin does not look too pleased.
You know, I'm wondering if we're gonna see any father-son issues, because if you look at Lord of the Rings, especially Two Towers, there was a lot of father-son issues with Boromir, you know, and the Faramir. A lot of father-son issues there. There's a lot of father-son issues with Aragorn and his right to rule. So there's a lot going on. It looks like Tran and Elrond have the same costume designer. That would make sense.
That does make sense. And someone, we were just texted by a fan on the hotline. Could the sun setting in the west be a view from the mountainside while looking for the secret door? Yes, they're looking for the last light of Durin's day. Maybe that is what we were looking at in the shot. However, I want to remind people of Tolkien's original maps and geography. And if you're looking at Dale from the Great Gate that is outside Erebor, you're looking south to see where Dale lies from that face of the mountain. But in movie land, geography is something else entirely.
Right. This is Thrain's throne. This is where
this is a representation. This is a representation in another piece. It might be something that is.
It's not the actual throne.
No, because the actual throne had a big ornate thing that held the Arkenstone.
I know, but isn't that where they would put it?
Well, it would have an empty slot. The same thing we saw in the prologue of An Unexpected Journey. Balin is trying to teach Bilbo what to look for here in this scene. Another scene
that's why you're here, burglar.
And there's a lot more here that supports the budding friendship of Balin and Bilbo, and that they become pretty tight.
I want to re-edit this scene where he says, "This is why you're here, burglar," and then have McDonald's Hamburglar show up.
Oh gosh. Nuts. You're nutty. You're nutty.
Thorin looks exhausted here. Look at the look in Thorin's face. I mean, he's just like, come on, I'm so close. Like,
yeah.
It looks like Bilbo's like ready to turn back. And you're right. You're absolutely right about Bilbo. He's still got the blue tunic on. He's still wearing blue. So we've spent the first whole movie in Bilbo in this brilliant red, you know, kind of red colors and smoking jackets, and now he's wearing royal blue. Ugh.
You don't care for the change? I think it's very nice.
Look, his skin is smoother and softer.
Look, Frodo got a change of costume in the third film. He ended up wearing orc uniform.
In the third film.
Goblin/orc Mordor uniform. And you didn't complain. You didn't complain when Frodo had a change of costume, did you?
Well, that was anyway. I reserve judgment. All right, well, here we go.
We might even get a joke in there where Bilbo complains about his own attire, saying something that the men of Lake Town have gussied him up to look like a fool, and it's not to his own taste. We might even get some Bilbo humor there. We don't know yet.
You guys, look at that. It's Legolas fighting a spider.
Wow, twirling Legolas, chasing giant spiders.
Look at that spider.
That's a pretty cool shot, too. I like that.
That spider, leg. He's going down spider silk.
Yep.
He's hanging on spider silk. That's amazing.
And he is about to catch his prey. It's interesting.
And the spider has a dwarf.
The spider has a dwarf?
Yeah, the spider has a dwarf right there.
So I see. I see.
So why would Legolas want to rescue a dwarf, only for Thranduil to capture them? Like, so. Wow. Because
if the spider eat the dwarves, then the elves don't get the information they want about why the dwarves are there.
But they've got 12 other dwarves.
You know what? They don't. Maybe there's something in Legolas.
Legolas rescues the dwarves.
Maybe the elves, by principle, would not permit any humanoid, free peoples of Middle Earth, men or hobbits or dwarves, to suffer such a miserable fate as horrible spiders.
What is this going on? What?
Oh wow! That is a spider kill. That's a Tauriel behind the back spider kill.
It is, huh?
Yeah, look at all the legs. Look at all the spider's legs.
Yeah.
Super Tauriel spider kill. Oh, there's more spiders right behind her. She's on
and she's got her bow out already.
I like that shot of Tauriel as well. She's ready to switch from one weapon to another. Bam, bam. I like that.
So they rescue the dwarves.
Well, they themselves are attacked.
What is going on here?
Okay, now, this is the launch of one of the great black arrows. Like the ones we saw in the extended edition of An Unexpected Journey. That's where you see the men of Dale defending themselves with these...
Look at that thing.
With these quadrangle quadra-angled
That's
crossbows.
crazy.
That's very impressive to fire a bolt like that. I've never seen anything designed like that.
Bomber. All right, he's still got his red jacket on here, so that's good.
This is prior to the arrival in Lake
Look at that hat. I just want to say, whoever did my hat did a good job.
It's really great. Boffer and Bomber. Now, doesn't this look exactly like a shot from Dale being destroyed, like we saw in the prologue?
And then we've seen this
of
shot
AUJ.
before. You can see, you can see Bilbo's hanging on.
Bilbo's hanging in the water, hanging on.
Keely. There's Ori, and Bilbo, and Thorin's got Orcrist. So that you think that Thranduil took Orcrist, but then when Thorin's on top of the mountain looking at Dale, he doesn't have Orcrist.
He is not holding Orcrist right now.
That's Orcrist.
Look at Glenn. That is an orc blade that was tossed in midair to him. Remember that shot? That hero shot where Bomber flies up in the air, upside down? That sword that he's holding is not Orcrist.
Okay,
not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that some of these Tolkien facts are actually clearly
we've seen this shot before.
accurately represented.
We've seen that shot before.
Or not.
This is Bilbo saying, "I can climb it. I can climb it."
Oh, that's where they're trying to get to the top of the tallest tree.
Finally, get some Gandalf love in here. Where is Gandalf?
Gandalf is now arriving on the outskirts of Dol Guldur.
Wow, is Gandalf supposed to be on the outskirts of Dol Guldur?
Yeah, that's why when all the dwarves and Bilbo go through Mirkwood Forest, Gandalf is not there. He leaves and goes hundreds of miles to the south, to the southern eaves of Mirkwood, to go and investigate what Radagast has warned him about.
Wait, but I thought Gandalf was on a quest at the beginning of the movie. So he comes back and he pops in and then he disappears?
At the end of an unexpected journey, Gandalf is with Thorin and
he's
company.
with him. But
yes.
do you think Gandalf makes it all the way through Lake Town and then they go up the mountain?
Nope, they meet Beorn first, and then after the incident with Beorn, Gandalf leaves and goes way off to the south of Mirkwood to go to Dol Guldur, and as in the book, Thorin and company, with Bilbo, go on their merry way through Mirkwood, and it's anything but merry. It's anything but Pippin.
Right.
So
they get through Mirkwood, they get through Lake Town.
And by the time Gandalf does not reappear until much, much later, after Lake Town, after the dragon has been roused.
So this is right before Beorn.
This is
after Beorn.
This is either before Beorn, when they're about to leave.
It's before Mirkwood.
It might be with Radagast. Or it might be later when Gandalf is gone on his own and Thorin is...
Is he supposed to have that staff right now?
Yeah, he still has his original Gandalf staff.
Okay.
Yes, he does. But I'm pretty sure that's Gandalf at Dol Guldur, while Thorin is, hundreds of miles to the north.
All right, this
lightning, arachnophobia attack scene.
The ring is off. The spider sees him.
He sees him quite full on.
And he's about to stab him.
And then...
Orcs attack Lake Town?
No. Yeah, that's in Lake Town.
But why is Legolas there?
Legolas is in Lake Town, and there's an orc fighting him. This is going to get interesting.
Why?
Yeah, sorry, Eravandi. There was a vacuum in the background.
So why is Legolas in Lake Town? And why are orcs in Lake Town?
The orcs actually get that far. They get to Lake Town.
And Legolas comes into Lake Town?
Cut back to Mirkwood, the edges of Mirkwood. Now back inside Lake Town.
This is Bard. It looks like
the inside. It looks like the inside of Bard's home.
Oh, look at that! There's no digital there. That's a real orc.
So it looks like everybody gets attacked by orcs in Lake Town and in Thranduil's caverns.
And then that's Dol Guldur.
A human magician has taken up refuge in an abandoned fort.
Hey, look, it's Ratty.
This is Radagast, played by Sylvester McCoy, the inimitable Sylvester McCoy, saying, "The whole world is in danger."
What sword does Gandalf have right there?
Glamdring.
Okay, good. All right, this is when Bilbo first climbs down out of the tree.
Yes, he's got webbing all over him. The spiders are crazy trying to find him.
And this is right as he thinks, "Oh wow, I can disappear." And so he's about to put on the ring, right here. He's about to put on a ring, and this is where we start to hear their voices, like, "Oh, this one's yummy and fresh." And this...
Wow. Another impressive, mind-blowing concept. You can see
What is going on?
You can see Dol Guldur in the background. This shot looks so much like opening prologue of Fellowship of the Ring, with orcs of Mordor coming across the plateau of Gorgoroth. In the last alliance of elves and men meets them face to face.
And they have battle wagon, they have battle banners and everything.
But this is definitely orcs, many, many legions of orcs with banners under the red eye.
Well, this is definitely a flashback.
Do you see the red eye on those banners? This is a flashback. Maybe this is Dol Guldur, maybe in current time. Maybe there are forces in Dol Guldur of that size.
Wait, someone just texted us saying Legolas is wielding Orcrist.
Well, yeah. Was Legolas wielding Orcrist in that shot? Let's go take a look. No, Legolas is wielding his long knives, not Orcrist. Not Orcrist at all. But we did take a closer look.
Yeah, those are just his long knives. Radagast. Bilbo.
Orcs of Dol Guldur.
Yeah.
Followed by Gandalf sneaking around inside the fortress.
Inside Dol Guldur.
And he's not with Radagast. He's by himself.
This is such a beautiful shot.
It's a beautiful shot. It reminds me of a shot from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Right?
With Dumbledore having these interesting flashbacks.
Love
and
this.
going to find a Horcrux in some unfortunate places.
Love that shot. I just want to freeze frame that.
Actually, Dumbledore wasn't having the flashbacks. It was Harry in the pensive taking a look at the past memories.
His name is Bilbo Baggins.
I love Balin.
What sword is that right there?
I love Balin coming to the defense of Bilbo and speaking up for him as a person.
What sword is that?
A person. Well, it's not Orcrist, but it's some other temporary sword that Thorin has.
And look, they're in the gold.
Oh yeah.
They're in now.
They're in now, and perhaps
so there's gold. But what sword is this?
But let's take a look. That might be something he picked up from the Horde of gold. But imagine where we are in the narrative. This is where the evil Smaug, the dragon, has left and has gone flying south to Lake Town. And this is where the dwarves and Bilbo are alone inside the Horde of Thrain.
The dragon,
or Thror, rather. The Horde left behind by Thror, the grandfather. Now more dragon shots, a dragon burning and destroying things.
Is that Lake Town?
Yeah, that's a black arrow being shot from Dale right up at...
Oh, wow.
I guess we're seeing a black arrow being shot from that quad crossbow.
Yep.
I can see it in the deep background. Stop. See? You can circle. There's the quad crossbow in the background.
Yep. There's the crossbow right there.
That's right.
And this is...
the black arrow.
It's about to go this way.
Yep.
Really cool.
That might be a flashback of when Dale was being first attacked. It looks like Dale, certainly.
He looks crazy right there. He's getting a little wild, man.
He does. He doesn't look like a happy Thorin at all.
Yeah, there's something up with that one.
Oh, now
we're deep in with a bunch of dead spiders around.
Do you know what?
There's a spider
now I know why Bilbo has that look on his face and covers his mouth. He ends up losing the ring, and then after this battle with spiders is over, he finds it on the ground and he picks it up and goes, "Oh my gosh! Like I almost lost it." Like his first reaction of almost losing the precious.
I bet you it starts talking to him.
There it is. It's right there, and this is Bilbo finding what he had lost. The ring.
I'll bet you
in the foreground.
I bet you the ring starts talking to him.
So the ring itself seems to escape Bilbo's grasp during the melee with the spiders, but Bilbo finds it again. Now we're piecing together these elements from this trailer.
All right, this is inside Dol Guldur. They're looking for the 9.
That might not be inside Dol Guldur. That might be the
No, we've seen that from earlier previews.
Yeah, I've seen this from earlier previews. I saw the early HFR footage.
So that was Legolas
Holding
wielding
Orcrist. Whoa, okay. You guys did see that. This particular shot, all right, we did see Gandalf holding Orcrist, but we didn't see it at the right spot. This is Gandalf and Radagast up in the high fells of Rhudaur, looking in the tombs of the Witch King, the tombs of the Nine. This is not Dol Guldur. Now this is the battlements. Whoa, nice. Lean back, Tariel. This is the battlements right outside Thranduil's caves. And now we're back with spider action in the spider zone of Mirkwood. Now, coolest elf armor designs I've seen in ages. Really great elf designs.
Gandalf running.
Gandalf inside Dol Guldur.
He's lost his hat.
Definitely inside the ruined fortress of Dol Guldur.
Oh, he's battling someone.
He's not messing around.
Who is he battling?
I don't know. We don't see. There's no one behind him.
Bear. Bear. This is the end of the scene that we saw in the 20-minute preview.
And that is so great. You'll hear some interesting sound effects and things in the background as we finish up the last 10 minutes of our webcast.
And then we saw this full discussion at the Hobbit fan event. And we saw this whole scene. I mean, this whole scene is like, probably 8 minutes long.
Wow.
From the dialogue with Balin all the way through waking up the dragon.
The sheer weight of this creature. And it's the suggestion of almost liquid. Like being in Scrooge McDuck's
Look at that.
golden hoard, and you can swim in this pile of gold.
Holy smokes.
Now that dragon is definitely awake.
Now, is this Thorin?
This is Thorin in a hero dive. Wow, that's a great shot. In the legendary adventure. That's the... Ooh, that is the neck.
No, that's the tail.
Is that the neck or the tail of Smaug? And there he is, bursting through a sea of coins and gold doubloons. No doubloons, no more pirate references. Sorry. No. This is the shot. This is the shot where people actually did Photoshop to lighten up the contrast and could show us Smaug's face and jaws as he opens them up to breathe fire.
And they finally made the Hobbit logo in 3D. It's not 2D cheated with 3D effects. It's like actual 3D.
Ah, yes.
December 13th. We've got...
wow. December 13th.
Toby Emmerich.
You guys, come tomorrow. We will be 30 days away. 30 days away tomorrow from the nationwide U.S. and Canada, North America release of the Desolation of Smaug.
This is really important.
Look whose name appears in the
screenplay. Right above Peter Jackson's, the final two names.
There's a lot of ampersands.
Guillermo and Peter. That's what I'm excited about.
But did you notice that the ladies, Fran and Philippa, get top billing as the lead writers? Yeah. Lead writers on this were Fran and Philippa. Right after that, when Peter had a few minutes, he would go and co-write some stuff. He was third, and last remaining Del Toro as the last and fourth screenwriter credit. Very interesting. Is that the very end of our frame-by-frame analysis? Guys, thank you for sticking with us for a delicious and juicy exploration of all the visual content and surprises that we have in this Desolation of Smaug sneak peek. Technically, it was not a trailer. It wasn't released as a trailer, attached in any theaters to anything.
Really,
it was more of a sneak peek.
And if you look on YouTube for it, it's not called Hobbit Trailer 3. It's just called Hobbit Sneak Peek. It's on the Warner Brothers Pictures YouTube channel.
Look up the words Desolation of Smaug Sneak Peek, and that is how you'll find it.
So I'm excited. I think, man, if there was a fan out there that took all the scenes from all the trailers and all the production diaries for Desolation of Smaug and ran it and edited it together, I bet you'd have a pretty complete concept of where this story's headed.
I'm very excited. There's still a question mark about whether the Smaug the dragon will survive the second film, or whether he will meet his ultimate fate in the third film.
I think Thorin meets his ultimate fate based on the song that's played at the end of the credits. Like, someone dies because there's a sad song that plays by Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran song, which I like very much. I do like this Ed Sheeran song. Did you see this last text we got on the Torn Hotline? Someone says that in the audio commentary track provided by director Peter Jackson on An Unexpected Journey Extended Edition, Peter says that Gandalf gets his staff broken and gets his butt kicked in Dol Guldur.
Yeah.
And Peter's revealing this in the audio commentary of the new Blu-ray that just came out of AUJ.
So I think
that's interesting reveal.
I think our homework this week is to watch all the extra features and listen to the movie commentary and then come back next week and talk about everything that we think is going to happen. And
yes, indeed.
So
pretty soon we're also going to set up a special show to go and visit our friends at Cryptozoic Entertainment, who created the Lord of the Rings deck building game.
And anybody else that wants to make cool Hobbit stuff.
Yes, we've got a lot of folks out there who are making really cool Hobbit stuff.
In the meantime, we're here live from Meltdown Comics, the center of all geekdom.
Great show.
We've got Nerdist downstairs setting up their Tuesday show, and we're just at the center of everything geek. And
as we always
it's
are.
always a privilege to help geek out a geekier house.
I have something, Murtaugh, if you are on this show, if you happen to be, hello Teteris, and hello Shield Maiden, thank you Wise Wizard 9, and TF Drums, and Elven Princess, Edu, Eravandi, B. Dawson, wow, Gwen Grimm. What a great crew, our regulars and many of our extra special friends. I don't know, there's Kelly Duck, and I Stole the One Ring, and Boffer's Wife, but my friend Murtaugh, if you happen to be there, I am sending this little envelope to you. It is going to be in the mail tomorrow, and it's winging its way to New York State, and will find its way to you. Thank you very much for this, and I promise you, Teteras, we're going to publish at least one or both of your new Tolkien scholarly articles, and thank you for being one of those fans that contributes to the ongoing community at TheOneRing.net. It's awesome. So you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Unexpected Journey Extended Edition is out on iTunes. If you get it on iTunes, you get everything except the commentary. If you get it on Blu-ray, you get the commentary. So that's out. The movie tickets go on sale the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about 2 weeks away from movie tickets go on sale. Before that happens, we're going to set up our line parties so you can choose what the best theater is. We're going to have a whole list of where HFR 3D and where the best theater is going to be. So look for line party stuff in the near future and more information about the Hobbit premiere here in Hollywood.
Oh, yes.
Monday, December 2nd, and more details to come.
And the alleged pre-party the Sunday before.
Well, we don't know about that, but thanks for joining us.
We'll find out later. We'll let you know what we know. When we know it, we'll let you know.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.